press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Yeah, hello dear students. So let me continue session 3 from system of particles and rotatory motion. So anyhow, in last two sessions I given very basic idea about system of particles and rotatory motion, and one of the concept from system of particles and rotatory motion is center of mass. So I started basic concepts related to center of mass, and in the last class I covered definition of center of mass and I given some examples, and I started coordinates of center of mass, and we know how to solve problems if two masses are separated by some distance and where is the center of mass of that system. So I use some formulas like m2d by m1 plus m2 or m1d by m1 plus m2, or in general you can use xem is equals to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. Okay. So I calculated coordinates only along a axis. Okay, plenty of problems are there, plenty of models, concepts, so many varieties are there. So based on the situation I am going to cover each and everything from low level to complete high level. Okay. Now, so in this session 3, in this part, okay, now let me write center of mass session 3, part 3, center of mass part 3. See, in this session let me cover coordinates along a, so coordinates in a plane and coordinates in 3D and some basic problems, and next we will discuss the motion of center of mass. So anyhow we know coordinates along x axis we know. Now let me write coordinates of center of mass in plane. Coordinates of center of mass in a plane. So along x axis if n particles are there, you know coordinates of center of mass along x axis xem is equals to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 so on mn xn by m1 plus m2 plus m3 so on mn. Now in the same manner let us consider particle in xy plane. See, this is x axis and y axis, and see this is the some rigid body having particles whose masses are m1 and having coordinates x1 y1, and one more particle is here whose mass m2 coordinates x2 y2, and there are another particle m3 x3 y3. Okay. Now to find the coordinate of center of mass in plane, let me write directly now xcm, we can write m1 x1 plus m2 x2, and if n particles are there we can write mn xn divided by m1 plus m2 and so on mn, like same process. And these particle, let me write in a mathematical way. So these I am going to write with some summation symbol. So this I am writing sigma or summation of m suffix I x I, where I starts from 1 and ends to the n. So I can write like this, and downside also these mass we can write summation of m I, where I is equals to 1 to n. So all particles, substitute I value 1, m1, m2, m3, so on mn. So this will give total mass of the rigid body or total mass of that system of particle rigid body. So we can write this one as summation of I is equal to 1 to n mi xi, and this can be replaced with total mass of the rigid body capital M. Okay. So these are x coordinate in a plane. In the same way we can write y coordinate. YCM we can write m1 y1 plus m2 y2 so on mn yn by m1 plus m2 plus so on mn. So similarly I written YCM, y coordinate of center of mass in a plane is m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus so on mn yn by m1 plus m2 plus m3 so on mn, and this also we can replace by some summation symbol. So I think this is not visible. So here this is visible, here up to here. Yeah, this is okay, this is not clear. Yeah. See, similarly you can write YCM also, summation of I is equal to 1 to n mi yi by total mass. Okay. So here let me write now, here I am going to write based on the space. So YCM I am writing here, summation of I is equals to 1 to n mi yi by summation of I is equal to 1 to n mi, and this can be written as summation nothing but sigma mi yi by total mass. So these are the two coordinates in a plane. In the same manner, in a 3D, just use ZCM. ZCM also we can write in the same manner. In a plane, in 3-dimensional cases, you can use XCM, YCM, ZCM. But in plane, only two coordinates, XCM coordinate and YCM coordinate. And see, if it is in a 3D, you can write ZCM. ZCM also the same way, like M1 Z1 plus M2 Z2 plus M3 Z3 so on Mn Zn by M1 plus M2 and so on Mn. Okay. And we can write summation of I is equal to 1 to n mi Zi by total mass of that rigid body. Okay. And if they ask to find distance of center of mass of this rigid body, if they ask to find distance of center of mass of a rigid body, you can use the distance, we can write root of xcm square plus ycm square. So if they ask to find distance of center of mass, you can use root of xcm square ycm square. Okay. So root of xcm square and ycm square will give the distance of center of mass of that given rigid body. Okay, don't worry, I will give you some basic problems again. Next, some concepts related to some entrances. So these are the coordinates in plane. Take this. So here d is what? Distance of center of mass from origin. Okay. Now so similarly you can write ZCM also, So tell me, let me write here ZCM and I'll finish fast. So in plane we can write ZCM, sorry, in a 3D you will get ZCM coordinate in 3D. So we can write M1 Z1 M2 Z2 so on Mn Zn by M1 M2 Mn. We can write summation of I is equals to 1 to n Mi Zi by, you can write directly, total mass. Okay. So in 3D, in the same manner, if they ask you to find distance of center of mass from origin in 3D, you can write like this: d is equals to. So what is this d? D is the distance of center of mass from origin of that coordinate system. Okay, distance of center of mass of a rigid body from origin. Distance of center of mass of a rigid body from origin. So xcm square, ycm square and zcm square. Okay. Now let me continue motion of center of mass. Okay. So from NCERT, so motion of center of mass. So write down heading motion of center of mass. So in this, let me write coordinates of center of mass in vector form. Okay. So in this motion of center of mass, so here in this, let me write, we can write coordinates of center of mass in vector form. In vector form. Okay. So the subheadings, coordinates of center of mass in vector form. So let us suppose some particles are in xy plane. So let us suppose this is one particle whose mass is m1. I am having coordinates x1, y1, and this is at a distance of r1. Okay, I think you know what is this r1. So what is r1? R1 is nothing but position vector, the distance from particle to the origin in any plane. Okay. So r1 bar, and here m2, x2, y2, and the position vector is r2 bar, and here, okay, this is displacement x3, y3 and r3 bar. Okay, if we consider n particles, then mn, xn, yn, rn bar, and this position of center of mass we can write rcm bar, we can write m1 r1 bar, m2 r2 bar, so on mn rn bar by m1 m2 so on mn. Okay, the same manner like m1 x1 m2 x2 so on mn m1 r1 bar. What is r1? R1 bar is the position vector, and you know how to write the position vector, where r1 bar nothing but x1 I cap y1 j cap, and similarly r2 bar x2 I cap y2 j cap, so on. Okay. So r1 is a vector, r2, r3 also the vector, position vectors, the line joining from origin of coordinate system to the particle in any plane, okay, in this plane right now. So RCM bar we can get again the same summation of I is equal to 1 to n mi ri bar by total mass. This can be written as summation of mi, where I starts from 1 to n, that can be replaced as m. So this is the position of center of mass, position vector of center of mass. So coordinates in center of mass, coordinates of center of mass in vector form nothing but position vector. So position vector of center of mass is summation of I is equal to 1 to n mi ri bar by total mass. Okay. So these are the position vector. Based on these, I am going to solve some problems also, some basic level of questions. So take this position vector. By using these position vectors, let us study the motion of center of mass. Nothing but velocity, acceleration, all will come. Yeah. So it is completed. So now let us study the motion of center of mass. So write the heading now in this, velocity of center of mass. So useful for your board level exams, velocity of center of mass. Yeah, to find the velocity, anyhow we know position of center of mass for n particle system. Okay, n particles. So far I used n particles. Okay, whose masses are m1, m2, m3, and whose position vectors are r1 bar, r2 bar, r3 bar, so on, rn bar. Okay, so I am calculating all these things for n particle system. Okay, now velocity of center of mass. Anyhow, we know position of center of mass of system of n particles, we can write RCM bar, we can write m1 r1 bar, so m2 r2 bar. Okay, try to write along with me. So mn rn bar divided by m1 plus m2 mn. Okay, so this is the position of center of mass of system of n particles. If we apply differentiation with respect to time for this equation, we will get the velocity of center of mass. Okay, so let us apply the derivative with respect to time on both sides. Apply differentiation, derivative with respect to t on both sides. So if I apply derivative, then this can be written as d by dt of RCM bar, d by dt of RCM bar, which is equivalent to, so apply derivative here, d by dt of m1 r1 bar, m2 r2 bar, so on, mn rn bar, m1 m2 so on Mn. It visible down say? Yeah. Now left side we got d RCm bar by dt, nothing but dr by dt, nothing but velocity of center of mass. And right side, see m1, m2 and mn, this let me replace with a capital M symbol. So this is nothing but summation of m, summation of mi. Okay, that summation of mi we can replace with capital M symbol. So the downside we can replace with capital M. So let me write capital M outside, d by dt of m1 r1 bar, okay, m2 r2 bar, so on mn rn bar. Okay, we can write directly, but I am using steps. So this can be replaced with VCm bar, nothing but what? Velocity of center of mass of system of n particles. So VCm bar, and this can be written as capital M, and apply this derivative for each term. Anyhow mass is constant, write outside. So let me write like this. I multiply d by dt for this r1. So m1 d r1 bar by dt, and multiply this d by dt for this r2, m2 d r2 bar by dt, so on mn d rn bar by dt. Okay. Now this can be replaced as VCm bar 1 by m dr1 by dt, nothing but velocity of first particle, okay, velocity of center of mass of first particle. So m1 v1, and this is m2 v2, v1 bar v2 bar, because velocity is a vector. So mn vn bar. Okay, so I got velocity of center of mass is m1 v1 plus m2 v2, so on mn vn by this m you can write as m1 plus m2 plus m3. So like xcm I got the same thing. Okay, so this m, okay, this m nothing but what? m1 plus m2 plus so on mn. And see, this is the velocity of center of mass of system of n particles, system of particles, velocity of center of mass. See, just I used the position of center of mass and applied derivative with respect to time, then I got velocity of center of mass. So I got velocity of center of mass as m1 v1 bar plus m2 v2 bar, so on mn vn bar by m1 plus m2 plus m3 so on mn, otherwise capital M. Okay, sum of all m's will give capital M. Okay, and see, if I take this capital M left, m VCm bar is equals to m1 v1 bar, m2 v2 bar, so on mn vn bar. And you know mass and velocity, the product mass and velocity, nothing but what? Momentum. Okay, so mass, the product of mass and velocity of center of mass, nothing but momentum of center of mass of system of particles. So this can be written as, this product we can write it as momentum of center of mass of system of particles. So we can write PCm bar, momentum of center of mass of system of particles. And this is also momentum of individual particle. See, this is the left side is total momentum of center of mass of system of particle, total momentum of center of mass of system of particles, which is equivalent to 2. See, m1 v1, that is momentum of single particle, individual. So p1 bar, m2 v2, p2 bar, so on mn vn, nothing but Pn bar. So finally we got Pcm bar, which is equivalent to P1 bar plus P2 bar plus P3 bar, so on Pn bar. That is momentum of center of mass of system of particles. Momentum of center of mass of system of particles is equivalent to sum of moment of center of mass of individual particles. Okay, sum of momentum of system of particles of individual masses. Okay, total momentum is equals to sum of individual momentum. Total momentum of center of mass of a rigid body, total momentum of center of mass of a rigid body is equals to sum of individual momentum of particles. Okay, sum of individual momentum of particles. Okay, so I got momentum of center of mass. So useful for your board level exams. Okay, now let me calculate acceleration of center of mass. So I calculated velocity of center of mass, and from this I got it as total momentum of center of mass is equals to sum of individual momentum of center of masses. Okay, particles, sum of individual momentums of system of particles. Okay, because in a rigid body there are number of particles, so each particle have momentum. Okay, P1 is the momentum of one particle of mass m1, P2 is the momentum of another particle whose mass is maybe m2 and m3, so on, and Pcm is the momentum of center of mass of that rigid body. Okay, momentum of center of mass of that rigid body, like you feel total momentum. Okay, now let me find acceleration of center of mass. Very easy things these are. So let me get acceleration of center of mass. Okay, go through the NCERT, you will understand everything easily. So acceleration of center of mass, acceleration. To get the acceleration, just by using velocity, we will get direct acceleration, because rate of change of velocity nothing but a acceleration. Now let us get the equation for acceleration of center of mass. Anyhow, we know velocity of center of mass, we can write it as Vcm bar for n particle system, m1 V1 bar, m2 V2 bar, so on mn Vn bar, divided by total mass. That total mass we can write like this: m1 plus m2 plus, so on mn. Otherwise you can replace all these with the capital M symbol. So this is velocity of center of mass of system of n particles. To get the acceleration, let us apply the derivative. Apply derivative with respect to time again. Okay, apply the derivative with respect to time. So d by dt of Vcm bar, So d by dt of m1 v1 bar, m2 v2 bar, so on mn vn bar by total mass. Otherwise you can write m1 plus m2 so on mn. Otherwise you can write capital M. Okay. So apply the derivative, we will get these equations. We know anyhow rate of change of velocity called as acceleration of center of mass. Okay, rate of change of velocity of center of mass is equivalent to acceleration of center of mass. So left side dvcm by dt. Okay, let me write dvcm bar by dt is equals to. So apply this d by dt for this term because mass is constant. So apply d by dt for v1, d by dt for v2, d by dt for vn. So anyhow mass is constant. Let me write like this: m1 dv1 bar by dt, m2 dv2 bar by dt, so on mn d Vn bar by dt by total mass. You can write m1 plus m2 plus m3 or capital M. So m1 m2 mn. So dvcm bar by dt nothing but what? Acceleration of center of mass. So let me write acm bar, and this is acceleration of individual particle in a rigid body. So m1 we can write a1 bar, m2 this is a2 bar, mn an bar divided by m1 plus m2 plus so on mn. So this is the equation of acceleration of center of mass of system of particles. Okay. So I got acm bar as m1 a1 bar, m2 a2 bar, so on mn an bar by m1 plus m2 and so on mn. So I got acm like a vcm, okay, like rcm. Okay, all are same, xcm, ycm, zcm. Okay, those are coordinates. These are coordinates of coordinates in vector form. Okay. So I got acm bar is m1 a1 bar, m2 a2 bar and so on mn an bar by total mass. And we can write this one acm bar m1 a1 bar, m2 a2 bar, so on mn an bar by, this can be written as summation of m suffix I, nothing but total mass. Total mass. Take that total mass to the left side. M acm bar, m acm bar, mass into acceleration of center of mass. This is m1 a1 bar, m2 a2 bar, mn an bar. So what is this m into acm? Product of mass and acceleration of center of mass, nothing but what? Force. Force of center of mass. So fcm bar, fcm bar, force of center of mass, and this is m1 a1 f1 bar, this is f2 bar, so on fn bar. So I got force of center of mass. fcm bar is equals to f1 bar plus f2 bar plus f3 and f4, so on fn bar. And see this right side, f1, f2, f3, so on, these forces we can call it as some external forces and also internal forces. So this all forces f1, f2, f3, so on fn we can replace with f external and f internal, but internal force does not affect the position of center of mass, motion of center of mass. That's why this FCM bar, observe carefully now, this FCM bar, is it visible downside? Okay, we take up to here, I will continue. We take up to here, I will write here left side. See, by using velocity I got acceleration of center of mass. Finally, I got FCM bar is equals to F1 bar plus F2 bar, so on Fn bar. Okay, let me rub this part. Okay, see, I got finally FCM bar. See, we got FCM bar, which is equivalent to sum of individual forces acting on system of particles, and those individual forces we can call it as summation of F external forces and summation of F internal forces. Okay, this force of center of mass, force acting on center of mass, which is equivalent to two forces. One is sum of external forces acting on that system of particles and internal forces. Anyhow, internal forces does not affect the motion of center of mass. We studied some characteristics in the last class. So, internal forces, they cancel with each other. So, this is 0, and this FCM bar nothing but what? F external. Okay. So, this FCM bar nothing but F external, only external force. Okay, summation of external force. So, FCM bar, which is equivalent to only external force. Okay. And this FCM, F external, which is equivalent to M into ACM bar. So, this let me write directly now here only M ACM bar. For suppose if external force acting on system of particle is 0, if there is no external force, if external force is 0, then let us see what will happen, how the body will move. Okay. If external force acting on center of mass is 0, then we can write, if this is 0, FCM is 0, so M ACM bar is equivalent to 0. Anyhow, mass cannot be 0. Okay, mass cannot be 0, so because it is a scalar. So, ACM bar is equals to 0. ACM bar means acceleration of center of mass is 0 in the absence of external forces. Okay, in the absence of external forces, acceleration of center of mass is 0. Keep in mind. This can be written as d VCM bar by dt, which is equivalent to 0. Okay, d VCM bar by dt is equivalent to 0, and this is nothing but VCM is constant. So, if we apply the derivative for this, dVCM bar by dt constant, nothing but derivative of constant is 0. So, velocity of center of mass constant. So, keep in mind, in the absence of external forces, acceleration of center of mass of system of particles is 0, and velocity of center of mass remains constant. In the absence of external forces, acceleration of center of mass is 0 and velocity of center of mass remains constant. So, this is also one of the characteristics of center of mass. Take this. So, in motion of center of mass, I covered velocity of center of mass. I started motion of center of mass by using position of center of mass. Okay. I used the RCM bar, which is equivalent to m1 r1 bar plus m2 r2 bar, so on, mn rn bar by m1 plus m2 and so on mn. And later by using RCM bar, I calculated VCM bar by applying simple derivative process, nothing. And by using velocity, I calculated acceleration of center of mass. Finally, we got force on center of mass. Okay, that is equivalent to external force. If external force is 0, in the absence of external force, acceleration of center of mass is 0, but velocity of center of mass remains constant. Okay, so I got some all basic level of equations related to center of mass from NCERT level. This is okay. So, next I will start some entrance level. Okay. So, that entrance is means all type of questions I am going to cover in the continuation sessions. See, let us recall what are the equations I covered. XCM for n particle system, m1 x1 plus m2 x2 so on mn xn by m1 plus m2 plus so on mn. YCM also same, ZCM also same, and I written in summation symbol also. RCM also the same, but in RCM nothing but position of center of mass, vector form. Okay, where r1 bar nothing but x1 I cap plus y1 j cap, and VCM bar also the vector, ACM bar also the vector. Okay, for suppose if two particles, see, let me extend two formulas, easy formulas only. See, let us suppose in some problems, if they given like this, if m1 m2 or the two particles m1 m2, they are moving with velocities v1 v2 in the same direction, if they move in the same direction, okay, if they given in vector forms, you take vector forms. Okay, if they given some scalar values, you can take the magnitudes. If m1 m2 are any two particles whose velocity vectors are given v1 v2 bar, if they are moving in the same direction, then you can use velocity of center of mass, regular formula m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Okay, if any v1 v2 values are given by m1 plus m2, if they move in opposite direction. Okay, m1 is moving with v1, m2 moving with v2 in opposite direction. Very simple. If they move in opposite direction, you can take like this m1 v1, and this is moving opposite to m1, so you can use minus sign. Okay, regular thing this is m2 v2, m1 plus m2. If these two are moving perpendicular to each other, okay, m1 moving with a speed v1, m2 moving with a speed v2, if they move perpendicular to each other, velocity of center of mass is different. Okay, if they given in vector forms, you can take vectors. Okay, after taking the magnitudes, you will get some numbers. So, here the velocity of center of mass we can write like this. Use some parallelogram law. Root of m1 v1 square m2 v2 square by m1 plus m2. Anyhow, square is there, so no need. So this is velocity of center of mass when two particles move perpendicular to each other. If they move in the same direction, use m1 v1 plus m2 v2. In vector forms if they given, you can take vector forms. Okay. In numbers if they given, you can take direct numbers. So if they move in opposite direction, m1 v1 minus m2 v2 by m1 plus m2. If they move perpendicular to each other, root of, you can use the parallelogram law of addition of vectors from vectors chapter. Root of m1 v1 square plus m2 v2 square, m2 v2 whole square by m1 plus m2. Okay. In the same manner, you can follow the same formulas for acceleration of center of mass also. Okay. Now see, now let me recall that some characteristics of center of mass, anyhow it is covered. See, there are few characteristics, you remember it now, useful for your board level exams and entrance point of view also, already covered from first class onwards. See, at the position of center of mass, so keep some characteristics in your mind, characteristics of center of mass, characteristics of center of mass. So at the position of center of mass, mass may exist or may not exist. Okay, mass may exist or may not exist at the position of center of mass. So keep this is one of the characteristics of center of mass. Okay, one of the characteristics. At the position of center of mass, mass may be present, may exist or may not exist at the position of center of mass. Like a ring, in case of a ring, there is no mass at the centroid, but in case of a disc, there is a mass. Okay, and you know second one, internal forces does not change the position of center of mass. Internal forces does not changes the position of center of mass. That I given like example, if a bomb explodes because of some internal forces, due to some internal forces, different fragments will fly off in different directions, but center of mass will keep at rest. If it follows a parabolic path, center of mass follows a parabolic path. Okay, and one more, sum of moments of masses about center of mass is 0. Keep in mind, summation of moments of masses about center of mass is 0. Okay, if there is no change in center of mass, sum of moments of center of mass is 0. Okay, sum of moments of masses about center of mass is 0. Okay, so this is also one of the characteristic. And just now I covered, in the absence of external force, acceleration of center of mass is 0, but velocity of center of mass remains constant. So that also keep one as a characteristic. In the absence of external force, acceleration of center of mass is 0, but velocity of center of mass remains constant. Okay, and center of mass always maybe lie within the body or outside the body. Keep in mind, center of mass may lie within the body or outside the body. Okay.